3 of our runner series. And what we're going to talk about today is kind of our form drills or running drills. These are good warm-ups or good drills to kind of practice to work on getting your stride a little better, a little more efficient. And so what we're going to talk about is really putting those drills in with your kind of routine, whether it is a warm-up routine or a workout routine. Again, we're kind of tapping into maybe some of those neuromuscular patterns, how your brain's connecting with your body, and putting that into kind of a dynamic motion. And so that's what we're going to go over a little bit today. All right, the first drill that we're going to touch base on is really focused on getting our stride where we want it. So it's basically running in place and then leaning forward to where you're almost like you're falling, and you're going to kind of take off. And the goal with that is we're getting our feet under us. And so a lot of times we tend to overstride. We want to land with our leg way out in front of us and drag ourselves forward. And what this really focuses on is as you're running in place, you get here, and so when you lean forward, you're either going to fall or your feet are going to get under you. And so that's what we're going to focus on here. So basically I have them run in place for a few seconds, and I'll say, okay, just lean forward like you're falling, and then I want you to take off. And so the goal is kind of getting the balls of your feet under you, almost like you're accelerating and pushing through. And so we'll have her do it again. And so again, we're just working on good, efficient stride, taking those little shorter steps initially, getting the feet under you, and kind of progressing it from there. All right, the second drill we're going to go over, everybody's pretty familiar with this. We're going to talk about doing some high knees. So this is a good warm up. A lot of, I see on the soccer field all the time, but lots of athletes tend to do this. It gets, those muscles going, but I'm going to focus on something kind of specific with it. So as she's doing her high knees, the goal isn't necessarily getting the knee way up using that hip flexor, although we are going to use those. I want her to focus on that downward movement, so really getting that activation, that posterior chain, that hamstring, the glutes. And so we're still working on high knees, but we're popping down off the ground to get that good activation of those muscles. So let's try around. She's doing a good job. She's using her arm, she's pumping through, but she's getting that toe and that forefoot down to the ground. And then this time what we'll do is we'll go straight down, and then we'll turn around and go straight back so you can see from behind. So again, she's getting the knees up really good. She's popping down to the ground, getting her arms going, alternating. So again, just a great drill to kind of get you moving, but also get the activation of those muscles we've been working on with some of our strengthening, our stretching, and other things like that. The last drill we're going to go over today is also pretty familiar. It's called butt kicks. I've got a little bit of a variation to it. So most of the time you see people run across the field, kind of heel to the bottom. What we're going to focus on today is very similar. We're still doing heel to bottom, but we're going to think about bringing the knee up and getting that foot kind of straight under us as we're doing, as opposed to just straight behind us. So we want to come straight up. And so what she's going to do is just kind of run through that. And again, she's kind of focusing on keeping the knees as straight as she can. These are great warm-ups, but also a good way to kind of get certain muscles activated, because by doing this, you're going to isolate those muscles a little bit more and get a little bit less hamstring. With the traditional butt kick, or hitting your bottom there, you're going to get a lot of hamstring, and so this is going to incorporate a little bit more.